Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Pharmacypedia. In this session, we are going to learn about the formulation and preparation of the shampoos. So if you are visiting my channel for the first time, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Pharmacypedia for getting further updates. So when we consider the shampoos, they are the preparations which are applied to the hair and they are basically composed of surfactants in a suitable form which may be liquid, solid or the powders, and when applied to the hairs they are able to clean the hair, they are able to remove the grease, dirt and clean the scalp and the hair shaft without adversely affecting the user. So without any side effects, without any other effects, they are able to clean the hairs, they are able to remove the dust and dirt accumulated on the hairs, and they provide a very clean feel, and they can be in any form like liquid, solid or the powders. So when we consider the shampoos, there are certain ideal requirements. So in order to have an ideal shampoo, there are certain conditions to be fulfilled. Let us try to understand these conditions one by one. So an ideal shampoo should be able to produce a good amount of the foam. Because what happens is that if you apply the shampoo, the first level of psychological satisfaction is the production of the foam. Foam is like if a shampoo cannot be without the foam. So if any shampoo is not able to produce that much amount of the leather, that is not considered good from the psychological point of view. So if for any user, the requirement of foam is very much, and if a shampoo is able to produce a good amount of the foam, it actually satisfies the consumer. Then second thing, an ideal shampoo should be easily able to remove all the dust and dirt. It should have a good wetting properties. It should be easily removed on rinsing with the water. So once you have applied the shampoo, you should not face any sort of the difficulty in removing the shampoos. Moreover, it should be able to impart some sort of the pleasant fragrance to the hair. It should not cause any of the side effects. And the very first thing you may have noticed with certain shampoos is that there is a sort of the eye irritation. It happens due to the difference in the pH. Eyes are sensitive, and since these shampoos are mostly made up of the alkaline pH, so they actually cause a reddening effect into the eyes. An ideal shampoo should not cause any such sort of the irritation to the eyes or to the skin. It should effectively completely remove the dust or the soil. So the primary action desired from any shampoo is that it should be able to clean the hairs properly. It should completely remove the dust or the soil. It should not make the hands rough. So when you are applying the shampoo, it should be soft to your hands as well. So these are the certain requirements from the user while selecting the good shampoo. Now there are different types of the shampoos which are available in the market. They can range from powder shampoo. Powder shampoos are basically used for the babies since their scalp is having a lot of dust and dirt, and they have the soft scalp, it get accumulated over that. So they cannot be rinsed again and again. So in that case, powder shampoo is being preferred out. So powder shampoo is being applied and then it can be removed out easily. Then liquid shampoos, lotion shampoos, cream shampoos. So specialized shampoos refers to the like conditioners, and it also refers to your anti-dandruff shampoo. So they have certain special properties, certain special attributes. We generally use the liquid, lotion and the cream shampoos. For example, Dove shampoo, it is having a creamy texture, and like lotion shampoos or the liquid shampoos are generally being used. When we talk about the composition of the shampoos, they have a large ingredient in it. If you try to figure out the composition of the shampoos, you will notice that it is a very long list. So the reason being is that for having these many requirements to be fulfilled, they have to be composed of several ingredients. But the primary ingredient is the surfactant. Surfactant or the detergents, they basically reduce the surface tension with the liquid. So once the surface tension is being reduced out, the grease and the dust passes very easily. So it gets removed very easily once the surface tension gets reduced. So the primary substance of shampoos is the surfactants. Most of the shampoos use the anionic surfactants because anionic surfactants have the capability of producing large amount of the foam. They are able to produce and clean the hairs very well. So surfactants are the main components of the shampoos. Mainly anionic surfactants are used. Primary surfactants are able to provide the detergency and the foam effect. Secondary surfactants are able to remove and improve the detergency, foam and hair conditions and other additives. So surfactants, anionic surfactants are vastly used since they are able to form the good forming properties, and the hydrophilic portion carries a negative charge which results in the superior foaming and cleaning. My dear students, do try to memorize the few examples of surfactants such as sodium dodecyl benzene, sulfonate, lauric acid, stearic acid, etc. Non-ionic surfactants are also used in the shampoos. They also have the good cleansing properties but do not have sufficient foaming power. So if you remember in the ideal characteristics, the very much psychological requirement from a consumer is that the ideal shampoo should have a good foaming property. So anionic surfactants have the capability of having the good foaming property along with the good cleaning property. So they are vastly used as the primary composition of many shampoos. The examples of non-ionic surfactants include sorbitol esters, ethoxylated fatty alcohols, lauric monoethanol amide, etc. Apart from the surfactants, other additives which are used in the formulation of the shampoos includes conditioning agents. Now conditioning agents, we require conditioning of the hair so that the hairs are more manageable. So like various substances such as lanolin, mineral oil, herbal extracts and derivatives have been used vastly for having this conditioning tendency to the hairs. Apart from that, certain additives such as foam builders are being added upon, for example lauryl monoethanol amide, sarcosinates. Apart from that, viscosity modifiers too, so that the viscosity of the shampoos is being able to maintain. It should neither be too thick to apply, it should not be too thin. So like for having that ideal consistency, certain viscosity modifiers are being added upon, such as electrolytes which include sodium chloride, natural gums which includes tragacanth alginates, cellulose derivatives such as hydroxyethyl cellulose, methyl cellulose. Opacifying agents are also being used as an additives into the shampoos formulation. For example, PEG, polypropylene glycols, magnesium, calcium and zinc salts of the stearic acid. Stearic acid is vastly used in the formulation of the shampoos. Apart from that, certain clarifying agents such as solubilizing agents such as ethanol, isopropanol, non-ionic solubilizers such as polyethoxylated alcohols and esters, perfumes having various herbal, fruity and floral fragrances, preservatives such as parabens, methyl paraben and propyl parabens are widely used in the formulation of shampoos. Even formaldehyde is being used as a constituent of the shampoos. So my dear students, do try to remember at least 2 examples from each category for understanding these attributes. So let's just try to understand these role of the ingredients. So surfactant is used for primary for production of the foam and cleaning properties. Other than surfactants, other additives such as conditioning agents are being added up to improve the manageability, feel and luster of the hair, so that the hair get a good shining, they get a good feel and to improve its manageability. Apart from the viscosity modifiers are being added upon to improve the thickness of the compound. So as I mentioned earlier, your liquid formulation should not be too thick, too thin. So in order to maintain that, you need to add up these viscosity modifiers. Apart from that, we use several preservatives such as parabens, methyl parabens, propyl parabens. So most synthetic products are vulnerable to microbial attack. So if not preserved efficiently, so bacterial growth in the shampoos can further lead to the breakdown of the detergent and resulting in the discoloration of the shampoos. So the simple and the most effective antimicrobial agent is formaldehyde. Apart from that, perfumes are being added upon. So they have 2 purposes. First, they make the shampoo solubilized and they impart a useful fragrance to the shampoos. So it must be compatible with the shampoo and it should not disturb the viscosity and stability aspects of the shampoo. So there are a vast variety of perfumes being added up in the composition of the shampoos. So this is just an example of any formulation of a shampoo which includes sodium lauryl sulfate as a surfactant, as a foaming agent, sodium chloride, water, perfumes, coloring preservatives. But if you see the composition of any shampoo, you will find that it is having an exhaustive list composed of several ingredients. So like they have the conditioning agent, viscosity modifying agents, preservatives, solubilizing agents, and even the anti-infective agents. For special shampoos like anti-dandruff shampoos again have different sort of substances such as triclosan which have the healthy effects on the hairs. Now, once the shampoos have been prepared up, they are being evaluated for different parameters in order to ensure that they are meet up the customer expectations. Since shampoos come into the category of the OTCs, they have to be selected by the consumers. So different consumers have different choices, and as far as the selection for the shampoos being considered. So when we consider the performance action of the shampoos, there are various tests such as the foam and the foam stability test. So Ross-Wilson test is widely used to evaluate the foam and foam stability test. Apart from that, we evaluate the shampoos on the basis of its cleansing action, on the basis of its detergency. For that, we need to conduct 3 different kinds of the test. First is the effect of water hardness on the shampoo. Second, surface tension, the wetting properties of the shampoo. And third, surfactant content and the analysis. So these 3 tests are being carried out to understand the cleaning and the detergency action of the shampoos. Apart from that, shampoos are also evaluated for their conditioning actions. For that, we need to see the effect of the shampoo in having increasing the softness of the hair, improving the luster of the hair, lubricity of the hairs, body texture and setting retention time of the hairs, irritancy and toxicity test for the hairs, and dandruff control. To how much extent the shampoo is able to maintain these properties or to improve these properties as far as the customer requirement is being considered. Apart from that, certain other tests such as in order to check the product characteristics of the shampoos are also being done. For example, the fragrance assessment of the shampoos, color assessment of the shampoos, consistency of the shampoos, package of the shampoos. So how much extent the product attributes are actually admirable by the consumers. Ultimately, consumers select the product on the basis of different parameters. So one of these criteria is the shampoo characteristics. So like even the package is of a lot of more important aspect. And for shampoos, 2 important tests, which are the very first test is the eye irritancy test. You must have noticed that sometimes some of the shampoos are causing a lot of irritancy to the eye. The reason being they contain surfactants, they contain the anionic agent which is causing this irritancy. Apart from that, rinsing behavior of the shampoo is also important. It should go off very easily from the hairs if you try to rinse off. The reason being, if get accumulated to the hair, it may cause some other effects. So an ideal shampoo should have a good rinsing and good wetting properties. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you like my video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Pharmacypedia for getting further updates. Thank you so much.